Yes.
Fantastic. Are we able to do a body scan for him?
Yes. Yes. All is very well with the body. Um, he has released a lot, and is the reason he's feeling so great right now is because he has been releasing and releasing and releasing, and he's noticed this with his reactions at work and his reactions in normal life. Things are looking very well for him.
Fantastic. Great. I'm so pleased to hear that because he was wondering why he was feeling so elated.
Yes, there is an influx of energy at the moment, and he has felt the what you perceive to be negative sides of this. He has felt overwhelmed at times and has felt very a lot of solar plexus activation and heart activation, and he's been feeling very withdrawn at times and tired and worn out. And as when he was home tonight, he just noticed himself feeling almost high with happiness. He's just very aligned with uh, his highest self right now, because he has released a lot of the stuff that was weighing him down. Ready for the influx of new energy that will come, and he'll have to go through that cycle again. But for now, he can enjoy this wonderful feeling of just being completely aligned with his highest good, his highest self.
Fantastic. And what does the next week have in store for him?
There is more energy work that needs to take place. It is again by dealing with the general public in such an intimate way. He is taking on a lot of their stuff, taking on a lot of the stuff for the town that he lives in, but also shining his light in the town and doing work in that way also. So it's very important for him to have these moments where he can just enjoy being with himself in a really high state of being. Um, and this is, as he's released, he is taken on new energies. And these energies to the body have felt really, really good. And it is just a step in the cycle. Not to say to bring him down and say, well, enjoy it because it's going to crash right down again. That's not what we're saying. We're saying that this is just a part of the energy work that is really fun to experience and a joy to experience. And yes, we will say that the next week will have its ups and downs, particularly as he works very closely with his family, but also with the public. And he will continue to do the work of shining his light, but also absorbing the light and energy of others around him to help balance in the area.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. And is there anything else you want to tell him about the shift in the future?
The shift, the big shift.
Has he chosen to learn any more information about that?
No, it is within his soul contract to remain in the dark about some of the information so that he can continue to fulfill his duties in his physical world for the remaining weeks and days. This is to do with his personality type. As we saw, once he found out about the shift, certain aspects of his life took a little bit of a backseat, which is fine. Which is why he has chosen not to get the finest ins and outs and details of the information We want him to remain in some way in a state of doubt, so that he can continue to fulfill his duties in his family life and in his work life, and in his mission as a light worker for his chosen area. So this is why he cannot seem to shake that feeling of doubt. And it's why he is going in and out of excitement and doubt, excitement and doubt. This is good because he is still in some way foreseeing next year, foreseeing Christmas. And this is exactly the state that we wish him to be in right now, because it is helping him to fulfill his mission before the shift.
Fantastic. Thank you. Yes, it does make a lot of sense. And is this the same reason why other practitioners are having clients talking about 40 years on Earth and a whole lot of other future information on Earth?
There are many reasons for this. There are some people who are not ready for the information. So it is just better for their missions to receive a certain truth, but not necessarily the biggest information. For some people, they will not experience the shift, therefore their information is truth for their experience. So they will enjoy Christmas, they will see next year, and they will move on the earth as it continues its process. There are some that are blocked from the information, they are blocking themselves. And there are some who are interpreting the information slightly differently to how it is being transmitted through their vessel. And this is just due to lack of trust in their intuition. So there are many reasons why the biggest information is not being received, or yes, received and given by other practitioners. It is the same in all spiritual practices, whether it be mediumship, channeling, QHHT, or just trusting one's own intuition. It is very easily blocked, and therefore transmissions and wires are crossed, and the information that is being received is not quite the information that is being given.
Thank you. And so it's all purposeful. How everyone's processing right now is exactly how they should be, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. We have said before in sessions that going off path is in many ways merely an illusion, because it is all written and there are many paths one can take. So when someone says going off path, they are merely referring to the path that that does not align with the contract that they have signed, but is still a path that is chosen by the soul to experience. And it's quite a difficult one to explain, but essentially you cannot go off path, but you can go off contract, but that is still the will of the soul at the time. So almost like a rewriting of the contract to experience what going off path is like. We hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it's really helpful. Thank you. Thank you for reminding us. I do recall you saying that as well, and I thought that was really a really good reminder and perspective view. Others are still trying to find their true path of truth and exploring all that they can in this lifetime. So thank you.
Yes.
We were wondering if we could call in Gaia. I don't even know if this is the name she wants to be referred to as. So I'll ask for the planet that we're on now. If the planet's consciousness can come into the session, please.
Yes. Yes. Yes, I'm here. I am here. The vessel is the vessel is really enjoying my energy because now he can see and connect with me for really the first time consciously. He's always connected, as you all are connected to me, but he's never really uh, done the work to connect with me. Although he's had certain experiences where he's tried to connect and he's sent me healing before, and he has used me as a way to expel energy before, but this is the first time he's ever truly connected with me, and it's such a pleasure and a blessing for me and for the vessel to connect in this way.
How fantastic. So cute. Um, I know that higher beings don't seem to really care what they get called, but do you have a name that you would prefer me to call you today?
I have no ego. I have no sense of needing to be referred to as any certain way. So you may call me whatever you wish to call me, whatever resonates with you. Gaia is a beautiful name, and I do love to be called Gaia because when people call me Gaia, they are experiencing a love and an identity with me. So Gaia is perfectly acceptable and wonderful. People do not refer to me as Gaia when they are sending me ill wishes or referring to me in a negative way. So Gaia is always an energy that I feel is beautiful and loving and positive. So you may call me Gaia.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for coming in today, Gaia. It is a beautiful name, I do agree. Um, what can you tell us today about the coming shift? How are you feeling about it, and what's going to be happening to you?
Hmm. And the vessel is feeling my excitement. It is time. It is time for me to make my departure, to reincarnate in a new vessel, a young vessel, a vessel with that is full of energy and life. And it is my will that as many souls as wish, as many souls that wish to come with me and inhabit a new environment, a new world where we can grow together and learn new lessons in a new dimension with wonderful, wonderful objectives uh, to um, to build a new world full of love and laughter and beauty and harmony. So it is, I would liken it to somebody in a human form um, having that realization, that knowledge that it is time to that their life is about to end, and comes with that an incredible acceptance and almost excitement for what is ahead. And my energy, just like the energy of a soul and a human, has a higher self. It has angels and guides, um, and as I, as a soul that is in a vessel, I have less awareness of what is happening than you might perceive from your human experience. Uh, there are things that I do not know. There are things that I am not aware of that will be happening because that is part of my experience. I must be able to experience the physical and learn my lessons just as you learned yours. So while my awareness is so much greater and broader than the knowledge that you as humans have chosen to experience while you live and inhabit in my vessel, I am still not completely 100% open and knowledgeable of all that is going to be happening, because there must remain some mystery so that I may experience my full transition from this body into the next. So as it stands, I am fully aware that I am in the last moments of my current life. I know that I will be inhabiting a new planet, one one like you have described, that has been described in your sessions. Um, and I understand that the conjunction of Saturn and Pluto is incredibly important for this transition, as it opens up a portal, if you will, an opportunity for my soul to leave my current incarnation. It is a perfect opportunity for this cosmic event to take place, and that is why I, along with you and the constellations and communities that are assisting, have chosen this date to perform this magnificent and wondrous um, cosmic event. So as I can, I will answer as many questions as I possibly can for you.
Thank you. Is it possible for a collective or other groups of beings to ask you to stay and continue on and not shift?
It is possible for them to ask, but it is not up to them as to whether I stay or go. There are things that need to be taken into consideration with such a drastic and dramatic shift into a new body. Not so much for me, or you, or the new Earth, or the new vessel, but for what will transpire in the cosmos with a planet that is decaying. There is more than just the incarnation that needs to be taken into consideration. There is, what will we do with a dead planet? Can we just leave it there? What are the risks of leaving it there? What could happen to a dead vessel? Is it possible for another vessel, another soul to enter that vessel and live on, similar to a walk-in that you would have in your life? There's much that needs to be taken into consideration, and there are certain laws and agreements that have been made that I must adhere to, just as the collectives also must adhere to. So it is a symbiotic coming together of knowledge that allows us to come up with these decisions together. You must also remember, as I said before, that I do not have ego like you have ego in the human body. So it is not so much a question of them saying, please go, and me saying, no, I don't want to. It's very much a higher understanding of what needs to be done. It is more like a coming together of understanding that allows this to happen. So for instance, if a collective were to ask me to stay, it would be a collective that is not as high as the collectives that are involved in the decision-making process. It would, the people who, or they say people, the collectives that would be involved in that decision-making process would never ask me to stay. It is something that is just known and decided and gone with, if that makes sense.
Thank you. It does. And are you aware of time? And do you know of what time, in terms of the year, did you make the decision to reincarnate this year?
It is not so much a question of time for me, nor has it ever been really a question of time. It is time is a construct, obviously, of the human mind, based on the cycles of light and hitting certain aspects and parts of my vessel and the outer corresponding atmosphere of my vessel. Um, we there was the option to continue on as we are with a raised level of consciousness, but there always was going to be a split. And it is not so much that I decided one day to move to a new planet. There was always going to be the death of this vessel, as there is always going to be the death of a human vessel. It is more to do with the time that I thought it was correct, in line with the laws and the collectives involved in the decision-making process, for the information to be given to Dolores in her work, and to other beings who live on me, on my vessel. And the time was approximately 2013, 2014. It would have been in human years, where things started to change, and it started to become less about the splitting of dimensions on this one vessel, but the actual splitting, death of this vessel and moving to the new vessel. But it's not so much like one day, one human day, I woke up and said, I'm going to do this instead. It is not really possible to correlate the process with your human time, but this would be the closest I can get to imagining what it may have looked like in human years.
Thank you. So those dates you just gave us, was that sort of, shall we say, would be the decline instead of you growing? It was a shift in your decline and preparation for this transition for you?
I wouldn't use the word decline. Decline would suggest that I experience old age, or experience a weakening of the vessel, and it does not work in the same way as a human body would. It is more like the knowledge, the knowing that it was the time, both for me, for the galaxy, the solar system, the universe, the collectives who look after me, and also the humans, animals, plants, and all types of life on this vessel. It was a collective decision that the time was up. The time was nothing good would come of life continuing the way it was, because with the laws of free will, there is only certain times, and these are very grave and dire times, that would cause intervention to happen, and it would just lead to more and more misery for all life, including myself and this vessel. So therefore, it would only get to a point where it was just complete torture for every being involved um, with um, with the life in this incarnation. And that is not the purpose of life. There is only so much, so many lessons a soul can learn before they've learned all the lessons. And then are just repeating themselves until you concave into this torture prison of control, terror, and manipulation. And that is not acceptable. It is not something that would have any benefit to the people, the animals, the all lives who incarnate on this vessel. So it is time. It was time. It started to be time quite a long time ago, and it is. It has been a slow moving process with regards to whether or not it was the right thing to do, but the time has been coming for a long, long, long time.
Thank you. Guy, can you tell me, do you experience joy? And if so, what are the things that you love doing?
So, yes, I do experience joy. I do absolutely experience joy. I do not experience joy in the same way, though, that you would as a human. I do not have emotions like you do as a human. The joy I experience is on a conscious level. It is on a level that will not really be understood by a human, but I can explain. Um, I find joy in helping. I find joy in giving and taking energy. And I find joy in providing all this life and all this wondrous experience for all life that lives upon me. I experience joy in communicating with my other friends in other planets. I experience um, joy in the sound of the waves crashing in the ocean. I enjoy the sound of children's laughter. I enjoy when communities come together. I enjoy and when I say I enjoy, it's so hard for this vessel to understand as I'm describing it to him because he is seeing it in a different way to how it's being said. So I will explain what he is seeing. He is seeing a state of, he is, it's like uh, the perfect balance between pain and pleasure. It is like a constant state of vibration of giving and being of service. And that is the highest joy that I experience. So he is seeing pain and discomfort, um, but is seeing the joy in that pain and discomfort because of what it does for the life that lives upon me and its lessons that and the lessons that you all have chosen to experience and the things that you've chosen to learn. And that is my highest joy. That is what brings me the most joy. Um, I hope that is explained well enough because it is very difficult to explain to you what joy means for me and how I feel joy, but it is the closest I can come to explaining it.
Thank you. I really do appreciate your help with our curiosity here. In terms of, there is a big meditation planned in your honor on the 22nd of this month. People wanting to honor you and send you some positive love. How is this going to affect you?
I think it is simply the most beautiful and profound act of love that so many who live on me are um, gifting me this beautiful healing, this beautiful loving energy, this beautiful, thoughtful practice of connecting with me and wishing me luck and love and healing, um, to help me with what they would perceive as the shift in consciousness. It is, I will be so present, I will be so accepting of all the wonderful thoughts of love that they will be providing me. I will say, however, that while I will be very much enjoying it and being very much a part of it, nothing that will come of the meditation will affect my free will. So any part of any meditation that is given by a mass of people will not have any effect that I do not wish it to have on myself. That is not for my highest good or the highest good of those who live upon me. So I am very much excited to be with all of these people on this beautiful day. And I will accept their wonderful thoughts of love and healing, as I will give healing back to those um, who are partaking in this, as I will to all of those who are not aware of what is happening but would be willing to accept the healing back. So I understand that you are wondering about what sort of effect it will have on the shift. Will it influence the shift in any way? And I will say to you that it will have only positive effects that I choose to allow with my free will with regards to how I wish to proceed.
I love it. Thank you. Yes, no one should be able to take your free will from you. So I'm pleased for that. And in terms of the Uluru location, is that significant to you? The rock.
Yes, it is significant. It is a point at which my energy can be harnessed in one of the strongest ways. And this is to do with the protection that I receive from the communities around that area. There are many points upon my vessel that have been sacred as a point of almost like a portal to my energy, where by no land has been touched by human manufacturing or work or development. And these places are sacred, and they were always known to never, it was always known that these places would never have been touched by humans, and therefore bore wonderful, sacred, profound meaning to those that lived and practiced their divinity in those areas. So for that reason, it has, yes, a significant meaning. And that is down to the wonderful energy work that has been done in protecting the land and making it a sacred place of spirituality, I will say. I will say that this can be achieved in any place upon me, but the work has not been done like it has been done in this place and many others like it.
Fantastic. So interesting. And then, can you tell me the lessons and purpose of your life as Gaia? I know that I'm assuming there must be many. But overall, what was, how would you describe?
I suppose my biggest purpose is to experience giving life to um, many other beings, and to learn about the act of being completely selfless, um, and understanding the bigger purpose to life and what it takes to maintain life. Um, the other Another purpose that I have is to learn when the time is right to do what is right for me. These are very similar lessons to that which a human can have, is learning to set boundaries, learning when I must sacrifice the needs of others to look after the needs of myself. And that often comes with a great sacrifice for those that I hold to be very dear in my heart. Um, and This comes in bouts of extreme Earth episodes, volcanic eruptions, for instance, tidal waves, for instance, earthquakes, for instance. These are times when I have needed to do things that are right for me and my survival, my development, and my lessons, and that have often come at the sacrifice of many life forms who live upon me. And this is a contracted, symbiotic a collaboration um, for me and all souls who live upon me. But it has been very difficult at times, and I do feel sadness. I do feel great heartache for the lives that are lost on this planet, as I do for any tragedy that I see take place on my vessel. I want nothing more than to see a planet of love and laughter and peace and harmony. But I understand and have understood for the duration of my incarnation that this was not going to be the way it would transpire as in this incarnation. That there was so much more to the purpose of me being here and of you being here. This is like no other planet that I have ever incarnated in before. It is so much more dense. It is so much harder, and has been so much greater in projecting me into this incredible place of learning and experience, as it has for all life forms who live upon me. And uh, without sounding egoic, I would say that we are the stars of the universe. We are looked upon with incredible awe from other collectives and planets who do not have the same experiences and life lessons that we have. And while it is difficult for myself and for the souls that live upon me, um, the learning and what our higher selves have received from these lessons is something that the whole of existence looks upon with amazement and awe and admiration. So um, uh, while it is difficult, the lessons and the purpose has been something so far greater than you, I, or any collective can really imagine while we are incarnated in this life, if that makes sense.
Thank you. I love it so much. And I'm really appreciative of you coming in today, Gaia. I just want to send you so much love and so much appreciation, and massive gratitude for you being able to allow us to have this experience, while some people are still struggling to grasp the bigger purpose of their lives. I want to really profoundly honor you, and it was with such gratitude for you and your service for humanity and for all beings.
And I would also like to thank humanity and thank all of the animals and the humans and all life forms that have chosen to experience their lives upon me and to teach me such wonderful and valuable lessons, because it is a completely symbiotic relationship, and we have learned and laughed and loved and cried together. So thank you for your wonderful words. I accept them and I pass my own on to you and to all listening.
Thank you. I'm going to look forward to experiencing what you feel like on the new earth. And I'm excited to see and be able to experience joy with you every step of the way.
Yes, I look forward to it.
Okay, thank you. So we'll ask you to recede to where you belong with much love and much gratitude and appreciation for everything you have ever done. While we know it is a symbolic relationship, we wouldn't be here without you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any final messages, subconscious, higher self for Andre?
No, we have really enjoyed the communication between Gaia, Andre, and yourself. This is something that Andre actually has wanted to experience for a while, to feel the energy of the earth, because he's wanted to connect with earth so much. And this has been a wonderful experience for him. So we will leave him with that wonderful experience, and answer any questions that you might have going forward. But for Andre, we have no more messages.
Thank you. No, it's all good. We just wanted to make sure that the timeline we were in is still the timeline that is going to experience the shift off this planet to the new Earth in a few days' time.
Yes, all is going to plan.
Okay. Yeah.
I know it's difficult for you. We do know it's
fine. What are the chances of things not shifting on the 21st?
It all depends on what takes place on the day, and whether things go to plan on the day. There is a very, 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 very small chance that it could not happen. This will be for the right reasons. It'll be for the highest good of all involved. But this is so small. There has always existed the possibility that this may not transpire. All has to go perfectly. It is like if the conjunction, if the things that need to take place do not take place exactly as they are meant to, then it will not transpire as you have been told. But the likelihood of this happening is almost is insignificant. It is almost so small that it doesn't even exist. So we must remind you that, of course, the possibility always exists that this may not take place. But as it stands, all is well, all is going to plan, all is in perfect alignment with what is meant to be happening right now in this moment. So that is as much as we can assure you as possible.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And if it didn't happen that day, would it just be the next day? Or
It will happen over this time frame of a few days, 2 to 3 days, because your days are not timed with so specifically with the alignment of the planets. It is a time frame in which it happens. If it has not happened in December, then it will have been the case that it is not the right time for it to happen, or that it will not be the right decision for it to happen. There's many possibilities that we must consider. And it is not just Gaia, it is not just those who live upon her, it is not just your galaxy that we must be aware of. There's so much that must be considered when undertaking something so grand and so great. So everything is due to take place. It's all set to go according to plan, just as you have been told. But it is just so important that we relay to you the possibility does exist that it may not. And if it does not happen, it is for the highest good. And this is something that you must trust.
Absolutely.
But it is, as you have asked, set to take place as you have been told in your sessions.
Thank you.
We should also let you know that if it comes to it, that this does not take place, this is because a possibility or a paradigm has become available whereby the Earth can change in itself. Therefore, the destruction and horror and pain that you are being told about on the, in inverted commas, old Earth will not transpire. It is because this will not happen if the shift is not able to take place. So please also know this. If the shift takes place, which it is all set to, the Earth will have reincarnated into a new vessel, and therefore the decaying of this vessel will start to take place. If the Earth has not been able to shift to leave this vessel, the outcome of what will transpire on this vessel will not be the same as if it were to have transpired without the soul of Gaia in this vessel. That is something that is so important to understand, that if you are still here in the new year, this means things will be able to be fixed in the interim, at least, for the highest good of all those living upon Gaia. That is something we must stress to you. So it is not a case of needing to worry about the outcome of life on Gaia in that instance.
Okay.
That is what we wanted to say. But again, we have to remind you that all is set to take place as planned.
I understand you're preparing us for all possibilities, so I do appreciate that. Is there some, we call them social media influencers, that are getting that information and seeing that timeline only, where there is no need for Gaia to shift and all is well? And do we know those influencers getting their information?
Yes, there are many reasons for this. Some are not are going off information that they are seeing and hearing and reading. Some are telling themselves a narrative over and over and over again, to the point where they believe only this narrative and it becomes a creation of their reality, their perspective. And Some are just not ready to hear it. Some have chosen not to hear it so that they may be used as a stepping stone for those that are also not ready to hear the information. Because regardless of what information is being put out there, the outcome of the shift will not change. So it is not harmful for the incorrect information to be being put out there as it is with some of the influences that you are referring to, because the people that are following these influences are comforted and soothed by the messages that they portray. And because the outcome is not changeable, it does not actually, in fact, matter what people are hearing to a point, because it is creating somewhat of harmony and a better and more holistic and peaceful life for those people involved. So while it looks like from the outside that they are misleading and misguiding people, they are providing their purpose for the people that have chosen to follow them at this time. And when the intuition of that person from following that particular influencer or influencers starts to grow, and they start to allow themselves to open up to their divinity more and more and more, their intuition will let them know where to turn and what path is best for them to move forward with. As Andre knows, that he has followed many of these influencers and has just gotten to the point where all of a sudden it does not please his highest good, his highest joy to follow and listen to many of the influences. And that just is because his experience has caused him to get to a point whereby he is not resonating with that information anymore. So no harm was done by him receiving all of the information that he received from those influencers, because it was a stepping stone to him opening up to his true divinity and trusting his own higher self and his own higher wisdom. So it has been actually beneficial for him to have been influenced by those people in the past, because it has caused him to develop to where he is today. So this is why the information is still being given in this way to these people, because it is helping many who need this level of information to focus on living their best life in that moment until they are ready for the next step. Because even though the information is not necessarily the biggest information, the highest information, it is correct information by the way of good life practices, good ways to calm the mind, good ways to reduce anxiety, good ways to ground yourself, good ways to communicate with others in day-to-day life. There are good messages being relayed onto the people. And the exact explanation of what truth of reality really is actually is insignificant with regards to the people involved.
Fantastic. Yes, I can definitely see that. Wonderful. Really appreciate everything that you've been helping us with and helping Andre with today. I know he's really going to appreciate that that experience. And is his body still doing very well?
Yes, he's really enjoying the energy. It's quite peaceful, relaxing. And we are performing little tweaks here and there just to set him up for his day tomorrow, because it will be a busy day for him and he will need just a little bit of loving.
Oh, fantastic. A little spa treatment.
Spa treatment, a little bit of a service. He loves the term spiritual surgery, because that's what it feels like. So we're giving a little Botox, little spiritual Botox.
A little lift and tuck here and there. Fantastic. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. Will you be able to continue on his healing and relaxation during his sleep tonight so he can feel fantastic in the morning?
Yes, all will be done as it is meant to be done. That is him just releasing releasing what we worked on in the session, and he automatically or instantly feels the difference in his energy. So yes, we will continue what needs to be done as it is meant to be done.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Love it, love it, love it.